New streaming channel, The Bow, is here, and it's to support content created by queer people for queer people. And it has some famous backers, including actor and musician extraordinaire Billy Porter. And joining us right now
in studio, Billy Porter himself and the Bow creator Matthew McLaughlin, who I've just learned is actually a Toronto native. So that's a pretty cool connection.
Yeah.
How does a Toronto guy come up with this concept of The Bow? Tell us about it.
Well, yeah, I feel like so much queer content is often put into this adult space, which, if you really think about it, doesn't really make a lot of sense that queer identities are quote-unquote adult because, you know, queer people grow up too. And what we want to do is create a platform and a space and content that really meets the needs of youth head on. And yeah, so we're really hoping to be able to change the game, and what's even the best part of it is that it's free and accessible to all.
Okay, and you know, in the climate that we're in right now, we're talking about for queer people, by queer people. You know, with the strike that's happening right now in Hollywood, let's talk about, you know, making sure that queer people are getting paid the same amount of money that, you know, that they deserve.
Yeah.
Well, we have to get the money first.
Yeah.
We have to make these contracts specific. We have to make them align with where the business has evolved into. So we're working on that. The content for The Bow is really specific to the expansion of our youth. Our youth need to see themselves reflected back. Our youth are under attack. Our queer youth, queer people in general, lots of other kinds of people in the world who don't look specifically like one group are under attack, right? So we have to come together as a community to fight that injustice and make sure that everybody's humanity is honored.
Billy, let's expand on that as well, because we know how important representation is. And I think back to that moment you accepted that award, you're wearing this fabulous gown, and I think a lot of young people saw themselves in you, and that's an important moment to be able to see, if I can see it, I can be it.
Correct.
So how important is it to have this platform so that people actually are, young people, especially their experiences, are validated, knowing they can live happy, successful, fruitful lives as queer people?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just answered your question.
Yeah.
You know, it is the most important. I know that as a 53-year-old black, poor, gay man growing up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I had nothing. I didn't have any example of anything that looked like me. And so it's my life's mission, through my work, through my success, through my platform, through the gifts that I've been given to create spaces for others, give back in the ways that are necessary for growth and healing.
What about you, Matthew? Same question.
I would say that, again, like, I had the privilege of being from a family that had a larger cable subscription channel than, you know, the average person. And when I was a kid, I used to, well, grade 10, I used to watch Queer as Folk on Monday nights at 10 o'clock. And my family thought I was watching CSI Miami. But, like, seeing queer people and seeing their identities and knowing that, like, that experience and what they feel is valid. And I don't want queer youth growing up today to feel like they have to have all of these biases instilled against them from the previous generation. I want this next generation to be their authentic selves from the very beginning. And I think that we can work really hard in making that a reality.
How do you want that to manifest itself through creativity, art, expression?
I feel like what we're creating at The Bow is coming from such an authentic space. And like I said, because it is queer creators, you know, we also have an amazing team that's, I would say, 75% queer identifying, but we also have allies who have been part of this, and we can't do it alone. Like, the way that we see The Bow is a common ground where people can come together and they can learn about the queer community if they're, you know, coming into the queer community and they have no background knowledge, the Bow is that space that's going to be safe. And we have a whole bunch of user functions that are built into the platform that really promote safe community engagement and learning. And that's really what we believe at the Bow. The only cure for homophobia is education. And that's what we plan to do, is to educate.
Education.
And art is healing. You know, Toni Morrison talks about it. And I paraphrase, but she says something to the, she says, like, this is precisely the time when artists go to work. There's no room for fear. There's a couple other things. We speak, we write, we do language. This is how civilizations heal. It's up to us to heal, and art has been the healer of civilization since the beginning of time. So let's get to work.
I don't know how much you know about Toronto's queer community. I'm sure you're quite familiar.
Yes.
Billy, I mean, we're very privileged. This is a city where, you know, people of all kinds are celebrated. Our Pride Parade's one of the largest in the world.
Yeah.
What does it feel like to you when you come here and you get to perform what you're doing tonight at the El Macombo, to be embraced by the community here?
Well, I was here last summer at this time, actually, directing an episode of a TV show called Accused, and that's where we met, and that's where I sort of met the community. My director of photography is really good friends, and so I was really embraced by a very specific familial, you know, chosen family unit, and I love it here, and that's why, you know, that's why we're working together, and, you know, I'm here. I love Toronto. See, I said it right. Toronto. Toronto. I used to say Toronto. I used to say Toronto. They were like,
No, you got to round that R.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto.
Yeah.
If I may ask, you quoted Toni Morrison. What is it like for people to look at you in that same light, as that beacon, as that inspiration?
I don't know how to do that yet. You know, I'm still overcome with emotion when I think about it. You know, I'm so blessed. I really am just blessed. I'm really grateful to have been chosen for this space, to take up this kind of space in the world. It's really special. It's not lost on me. Everything I do is intentional, and I thank you for seeing that.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And we thank you for coming.
And intention is powerful as well.
you.
Thank you. Billy Porter, Matthew McLaughlin, thanks so much for being here. And thanks
Thank
for
you so
creating the
much.
Bow as
Yeah.
well. A safe resource, a safe space.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And if you guys can, go to the elmacombo.com and get your tickets. We still have tickets for tonight.
Tonight.
Daddy's
singing.
Yes.
Daddy's performing, darling. From my new album.
Daddy's
Come
calling
on.
his darlings.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thanks
so much
again
for having us.
coming in.
Thank you.